got Rafa here. Rafa, what a night. Sum that up.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The main thing was a plan. So if they know that you have a plan, they will follow.
In the dressing room, Seedorf, Gattuso, Pirlo, Shevchenko, Maldini, Crespo, Nesta.
You had that team that had Mascherano, Alonso, Torres, Gerrard, but then Alonso left, Mascherano left, and that team started to fall away then.
Are you committed to Liverpool in the future?
I can stay if all the conditions are right.
Mathematically, of course, it's still possible, but do you feel it's gone now?
Yeah.
1 minute, I'd just like to have a look at those fans there, behind you there. 3-0 down at half-time. You've won on penalties.
The European Cup is returning to England and to Anfield.
Some nights give a club immortality, but sometimes immortality is a curse. On May 25th, 2005, Liverpool staged the greatest comeback football has ever seen. 3 goals down against AC Milan, they rose from the dead and lifted the European Cup. It should have been the start of a new era. Instead, it became the night Liverpool stopped moving forward. Because Istanbul didn't just make Liverpool, it broke them too.
What was said at half-time? Did you really believe it? Be honest, at half-time.
No, we're all deflated.
At half-time, the humiliation was unbearable. AC Milan weren't just winning, they were dissecting Liverpool. Maldini had scored inside a minute. Kaká and Crespo tore through at will. At 3-0, Gerrard's dream final was a nightmare. Yet football has a way of choosing unlikely moments to write history. In 6 frantic minutes, the impossible became reality.
In towards Gerrard!
Gerrard's header, Smyce's strike, Alonso forcing home a rebound. And suddenly, belief returned. By the time Dudek threw himself into folklore with his penalty saves, Liverpool were champions of Europe for a 5th time. For the supporters, it was proof that even after years of falling short in the league, Liverpool were still Liverpool. They could still conquer Europe. But that night carried a shadow. Because while Istanbul gave Liverpool eternity, it also whispered something far more dangerous, that all was well again.
How long are these celebrations going to be, boys?
I'm going to bend it for about a week, I think.
That night became a shield, against criticism, against change, against hard truths. Liverpool weren't built to be champions in 2005. The squad was a patchwork. Gerrard was elite, Carragher a warrior, Alonso a metronome, but beyond them, this was not a squad that was ready to kick on. A team capable of magic on one night, not dominance over many. Yet Istanbul hid the cracks. Players who might have been replaced became cult heroes. Fans who should have demanded more were soothed by club merchandise and endless retellings of the miracle. Ownership, already reluctant to invest, had cover for their caution. Instead of becoming a springboard, the miracle became an anchor, a reason to stay in the past. Benitez knew it and pushed for backing, for reinforcements, for a squad to match Manchester United or the rising force of Chelsea. But too often, his ambition hit a wall. Istanbul's glow made the boardroom believe they'd already arrived. The truth was harsher. Liverpool had been saved by one night, not rebuilt for the future. The next season told the story. A 3rd-place finish, far behind Chelsea's 91 points. A dramatic FA Cup win in Cardiff, but the league, the real measure, was still out of reach. Another European final in 2007, another shot at glory. But this time Milan had their revenge. And slowly, a pattern emerged. Liverpool could conjure magic under the lights of Europe, but in the league, where truth lives, they were falling behind. And while Liverpool lived off nights, their rivals built dynasties. United, relentless under Ferguson. Chelsea, fueled by Abramovich's millions. Even Arsenal, though fading, remained consistent.
You're talking about that season in 2009 where we come close to winning the title, and I would say that was the best team
I ever played in Liverpool.
For a moment, it seemed the corner had turned. Benitez's side, led by Gerrard and Torres, ran United close. They finished second with 86 points. Anfield believed again. But even in their best season since Istanbul, they fell short. And the cracks widened quickly after. Alonso sold. Mascherano gone. Torres disillusioned. Each departure chipped away at any promise that remained. Ownership chaos deepened the rot. Hicks and Gillett arrived with promises of stadiums and spending. Instead, lies and courtrooms determined Liverpool's fate. The club edged toward ruin, while supporters still sang of Istanbul. The longer they clung to that one night, the further they drifted from building another. By 2010, the romance of Istanbul had turned toxic. Every manager was measured against it. Every player compared to those who had lived it. Liverpool's identity was reduced to one miraculous night. But football moves on. United were still winning titles. Chelsea and City were rewriting the financial order. Arsenal clung to top four consistency. And Liverpool, they were drifting in nostalgia.
Brendan, we saw the tears as the players came off. Tell us just how devastated is the dressing room.
Gale, 3-3!
Brendan Rodgers nearly broke the cycle. Nearly. But even that season, glorious as it was, felt fragile. When Gerrard slipped against Chelsea, the ghosts of Istanbul couldn't save him. Because Istanbul had never fixed the cracks. It had only hidden them. Liverpool needed something more. A break not with mediocrity, but with the past itself.
The final thing for me to do before starting is to introduce the top table and the new manager of Liverpool.
And then came Jurgen Klopp. When he walked into Anfield, he didn't speak of miracles. He didn't lean on Istanbul. He spoke instead of believers, of building something that would last. For the first time in decades, Liverpool stopped living off one night and started building for many. And in 2019, in Madrid, they conquered Europe for a sixth time, another Champions League win. But this was different. Not a fluke, no patchwork, a machine built on Klopp's vision. A 97-point league season crowned with European dominance. And then, after 30 years, the Premier League. The drought ended. The shadow finally lifted. Not by replaying Istanbul, but by letting it go. Istanbul was resurrection. It was defiance. It was proof of the bond between Liverpool and their supporters. A night when the impossible became real. But it was also deception. A crown and a chain. A false dawn that trapped Liverpool in nostalgia and delayed their true rebirth for 15 years. In the end, Istanbul gave Liverpool immortality. But immortality is not the same as progress. It blinded them, even as the world moved on. And perhaps that's the tragedy. The very night that Liverpool came back from the dead also kept them from truly living again. Thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.